Malignant tracks the journey of Madison Mitchell, who is plagued by eerie and spine-chilling visions of savage killings. To put an end to the killer's rampage and ensure her own safety, Madison must confront the skeletons in her closet. Let's see how Madison deals with the horrors going on around her. Will she be able to overpower it? And if not, what could be the consequences? The story starts at Simeon Research Hospital in 1993, where Dr. Florence Weaver, Dr. Victor Fields, and Dr. John Gregory are treating a violent, troubled patient named Gabriel. Gabriel can control electricity and broadcasts his thoughts via speakers. After Gabriel murders multiple employees, Dr. Weaver decides he is a hopeless cause and orders the cancer to be surgically removed. In Seattle, 27 years later, pregnant Madison Lake Mitchell returns to her abusive husband, Derek. Madison's head is smashed against the wall by Derek during an argument in which they discuss her recurrent miscarriages. She has a nightmare that someone breaks into their house and murders Derek after she locks herself in her room. After Madison discovers Derek's body, she is attacked and knocked out by the killer. When Madison comes to the hospital, her sister Sydney tells her that her unborn child did not make it through the onslaught, leaving her heartbroken. Madison goes home after talking to Detective Kikoa Shaw and his partner Regina Moss, with a weight off her shoulders. After 8 long years, Sydney finally spills the beans to Madison that she was adopted and that her birth family is a complete blank slate. Madison is in a tight spot when the killer abducts a Seattle Underground tour guide, leaving her bleeding from the back of her skull. A second vision follows, in which he witnesses the murderer viciously slamming a bludgeon into Dr. Weaver's head, adding insult to injury. Shaw and Moss find a photo of a young Madison in Weaver's home and learn that Weaver is a specialist in reconstructive surgery during their inquiry. After Madison gets a vision of the killer killing Dr. Fields, she and Sydney decide to go to the police. After that, the murderer telephones Madison and identifies himself as Gabriel. Madison and Sydney go to see their mom and find out that Madison had an imaginary companion growing up named Gabriel, who may have been someone she knew before she was adopted. Later, Shaw discovers the death of Dr. Gregory thanks to clues left in Dr. Weaver's record diaries about a connection between the doctors and Madison. In order to access Madison's past recollections, the investigators consult a psychiatric hypnotherapist, hoping to open a can of worms. Madison remembers that her real name is Emily May and that she almost killed Sydney when she was still in the womb due to Gabriel's influence, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Madison had put Gabriel out of her mind when Sydney was born. Out of sight, out of mind. When the kidnapped woman manages to break free, she accidentally falls out of Madison's attic, letting the cat out of the bag about Gabriel's hidden presence there. The police, suspecting Madison of being the killer, take her into custody as the woman, later identified as Madison's biological mother, Serena May, is transported to the hospital, leaving Madison in hot water. Emily's parasitic twin brother Gabriel appeared as a half-formed child facing out of her back, so Sydney went to the now abandoned Simeon Hospital, where she was cured. Through surgery, Weaver was able to remove Gabriel's whole body from Emily, except for his brain, which was sealed inside Emily's skull. He lay in wait till Derek smacked her head against the wall, at which point he awoke. Madison's strange motions and inverted handprints at crime scenes are a result of Gabriel's operating Madison's body backwards when he takes possession. Gabriel, having been provoked by his fellow prisoners, emerges from Madison's brain and reassumes control of her body. He kills nearly the whole precinct staff before heading to the hospital, where Serena is healing from her ordeal. Gabriel attacks Sydney and Shaw after they had been intercepted. Sydney tells Madison that Gabriel was the reason for her miscarriages because he was gaining power by eating her unborn children. Madison regains consciousness and physical control as Gabriel tries to kill Sydney for replacing him in her life. After Gabriel swears to break out one day, she unconsciously locks him up in a prison and makes up a whole new world for him to live in. Madison imprisons Gabriel in the depths of her mind, warning him that she is prepared for his return. Madison realizes that since she and Gabriel shared a body, she too must possess Gabriel's superhuman strength. After a brief embrace, the picture ends as Madison casually tosses the bed off of Sydney. As uncertainty engulfed the wicked being, Madison tapped into untapped reserves of power, crushing the ghostly presence with an iron fist. With all the unanswered questions revealed, the once bone-chilling ghost disappeared, leaving behind a spine-tingling reminder of the importance of one's wittedness and willpower. What are your opinions on the storyline of Malignant? Did you find it interesting? Do let us know in the comments below.